kind of cheated the system a little bit here. This is like my worst nightmare. Alright, so you guys start my day with a crazy amount of wasp. Look at all them freaking wasp. Holy cow. This is crazy.
Yeah, I figured I would just lock them in there and spray them and get rid of them once and for all.
I can't make this up. They're everywhere. I don't know where they keep coming from.
Probably not once and for all, but we'll do our best.
They're just all over. Jeez. There's another one. Jeez. I'm over it. Anyways, so I was going to put spackling between here to kind of even it out, but I brought in one of my boards and I put it up here and it actually covers where the drywall dips down so you can fill it in nice. So I think it might actually work without doing drywall mud, which would be amazing because that will cut out a lot of my time. Another freaking bee. So let me show you what I was gonna do with this wall. All right, so up here, we need to still do this wall, but for now, we're just gonna work on this wall.
Well, Jason, quit being lazy and just finish the drywall and that other one right there.
We're gonna put it here so we know where to start everything.
Hey, calm down. I'll get to that here in a minute.
All right. So that's back there as far as it'll go, so we can get our line, and then we can take this off and work on this later. We just don't have what we need. So let's continue. So hopefully I don't get stung by a wasp that is multiple right there and right there. And earlier there was one back here. So yeah. See how this goes. But to get this angle correct, because that's not straight flat, because this right here is angled, there's multiple ways to do it. And I'm gonna show you the easiest way to do it. You're gonna get a scrap board that is the same as what you're gonna put up there, or you could use the board you have, and you're just going to make sure you move your angle just slightly each time. And then now cut it. We barely cut it, so go check. Nope. Try again. We'll go over just a little more. Try again. Nope, but a lot closer. So we're getting there, so a little more. See? Oh, that could probably work, but let's do just a hair more. So now, slide that up. Boom. Looks pretty good to me. So now that we got that, remember it goes this way. This is the top. Let's go transfer it to our board. All right, so got it lined up. That should be our mark. Which, if this is correct, it should still be the same. Just do a little test fit. We know it'll work, but just to make sure. Works great. So we're gonna mark this as the top and bottom, and then down there, we're gonna cut it at an angle so when we put our other piece, it'll kind of hide the joint better.
Yeah, did you notice that bee? I'll get it later.
So just for safe measure, we're gonna mark on both sides so we know, in case you can't tell which degree that is. But we need to move this back to the center. And then we need to take this to a 45, either way. So now we're gonna cut the end of this and make sure it's a nice 45.
And yeah, it's not working out too well. Jason, why are your tools messed up? Probably because he leave them out in the rain. Actually, there was a hidden screw back there.
Why is this not moving? All right, I take that back. We're not gonna cut that. The saw, for whatever reason, those parts it just ain't moving. So it's okay. It would just be better if you cut them the miter, is that what it's called? You cut the angle at it, so then if it moves at all, it just looks better. If you are into woodworking, you know what I'm talking about. But we'll make it work, and no one will even know. Oh, hey, guess what? Another freaking bee. And another bee. And another bee. We're gonna use these super long screws, so hopefully it'll go through the wood and into the stud as well and hold it really, really well. That's why I wasn't too worried about all the screws up here. This will hold it. Go right down the middle for this one. I don't want to go too deep, but we will fill that in. This, I don't want to go too far to the edge, so I'm just going to hit the top of it for now. I don't want to crack the board. Make sure to push it all the way up to the ceiling. And we're gonna measure to the bottom because that's gonna be the longest part. That is 34 inches. So what we're gonna do is 34. Put this up here. All right, so it's gonna fit right there on the bottom, so we know that is a really, really good fit. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the spacer, stick it here, and then mark just a little spot on it. Just one spot right there, because that will be the bottom. So what we're gonna do here is make sure this is the correct angle still, which it is. And then the bottom will be that. And now that we have the bottom and bottom, we just line this up. Of course, I wouldn't do it holding it, but that mark, line up the bottom there, and then make sure this is flush all the way down. And then cut it right on that line. And now we have the angle. Let's see if it fits. So this should fit perfectly if we did this correct. Up there, you guys can see here, it'll match up like that. This part, go all the way to the top. Oh, it's hitting that board just a hair. Oh, that's okay though, because we actually have to take off a little more. I did it on the wrong side of the line, and that's okay. We do know that that fits perfect, so we'll take our little spacer piece of drywall, stick it on there, draw the line, and cut it there. All right, so this will definitely fit. I know that some people are saying, this is way harder than it needs to be. A lot of people don't understand the math or the angles or anything like that. I don't either. That's why I figure out different ways. If you want to watch the correct way, go watch someone else. If you want to do it with being kind of a dummy, watch this guy.
And if you don't like what I do, you can kiss.
But I promise it'll work.
This.
So as you guys can see, it fits perfectly on the ceiling there, and then it leaves a little bit of a gap so we can slide some drywall back there. You want to do that one first because whenever we start doing our other boards, you guys already saw the thumbnail, you know what I'm going for. You want to get that angle correct, and it's just the easiest way for me to do it. I'll show you how to get the angle up there. So let's go ahead and do the board down here, because when you do wainscoting, it's kind of what you want to do. What you normally want to do is 1/3 of your wall. So if you're doing a 8-foot ceiling, you're going to do roughly about 3 feet, and it looks proportional. Of course, there is another wasp. Gotcha, babe. Of course, it's 8 foot and then 10 foot, but it's 8 foot in the back, and then of course it's 10 foot up here. Oh my gosh, there's just so many more wasps. We're gonna do with the 3 foot, because if we went higher, it would look weird on that side. So what we need to do is bring a board like this down, or a piece of sheetrock like this down, to get it where we need to, and then we're gonna do this piece all the way across, and then we'll do the in-betweens. If you did that up there and then try to measure down, it's gonna be off a little bit. Again, I'll show you how to get the right measurement from here up there with the angles. So let's do this one. All right, there's 2 of them. Gotcha, bud. Where did you go? I just saw you. Oh, you're up here. Gotcha. I think the queen, it's a big one. That's the ones we want to get, I think. And then there's some up on the ceiling. I could be wrong, but I believe those right there are the bigger queen ones you want to kill. Or maybe that's a whole different kind, I don't know. Gotcha, girl. No, up there. Oh, I got it. Gotcha. Dang, I'm getting good at this. I'm really glad I kept all these cutoffs because it's coming in handy. So one thing you want to do is make sure, if you are going to do this and you're not going to put up a full sheet like you need, put the screws over here and not here. Because if you put your boards and it covers it, you can't get that screw out, you're screwed. Alright, so obviously we should be able to put it on there without cutting anything. Realistically, since that one ended there, you probably want to change it up a bit, so if there are spots that aren't looking perfect, it's not a big deal. So we're just going to see here, if we do it like that, I think that'll work. So what we could do is start from that side. So this board is roughly almost exactly the same. We want to make sure we line it up good. So what you want to do is, it is 3 1/2, and it'll be what, 1 3/4 ish. Yeah, about 1 3/4. And then you want to put that line right in the middle, and then just draw a line on top a little bit right there, so then you know where to line it up and it'll be nice and even on that gap. So this should be fairly simple to understand. Alright. Another Wasp. Oh, threw my pencil a little bit. Alright, fairly simple. Just all the way to the end there, 31 1/2. Let's see how. A little too snug. So try that on again. Alright, that's a lot better. Better up there. The hardest part of building is always remembering where your drill, your screws, your pencil, and your tape measure are. It's like, I wish they made things that just held everything. You just had it on your body. That'd make building way easier. Try to do it at an angle to get that stud back there. So now what we're gonna do is draw that line there and take this off. Slide this out, and now that line is there, and we know where to keep the board. Try not to get stung. Almost forgot to mark it first. You can see this, another Wasp. Do this side also. Slide that out. Alright, I'm trying my best here. So also, another thing to note, one side is smooth and one isn't. And then with stickers, I just try to use the smooth side. We're gonna bring our whole board, the whole 8-footer, all the way up. We're gonna try to keep it right in the middle there, and then in the middle here, but we're going to go above So what we want to do is mark the middle of this board. This might be a little difficult here. Scratch that, let's try this. It's okay to have extra. So we're gonna go over the top, it doesn't matter. And then we're going to mark where that reaches there. Let's cut that off. I don't know if y'all can tell, I do not like to measure and do all that stuff. It always seems to be off. So we're going to put that right in the middle where that needs to go. And then we're going to try to line this up perfect right here. And then we have to mark where it hits there and right here. I know it's hard to see, but I marked it on the side right there, and then I marked it right there on the side. So now if we draw that line straight across, it should be the perfect angle. Again, we want to know where the middle of the board is, there, and then down here. So go ahead and mark the middle of the board, and up there we know because there's some mark there. Oop, flip it around. There, and then right there. I think that'll do, Captain. Now we gotta screw it in. This board itself is kind of warped in the slightest, but hopefully the screws put it into place. If it doesn't work good, I'll get a new one. All right, that definitely put it in place. So now, we'll go through and do this one. Wasp, man. This is like my worst nightmare. There's just so many of them. There you go, guys. I think it's gonna be looking pretty good. As far as the bottom goes, I don't know if I need to wait for flooring or just guess. Alright guys, after eating and everything, oh my gosh.
Okay, this is just AI created. It's not real.
Yeah, that would be a total freaking nightmare. Thankfully, it didn't happen, but it did give me time to, one, come in here, honestly, and kill a bunch of wasps. They are everywhere. It's insane, but it gave me time to think about the bottom, kicking some stuff around. Let's go ahead and finish this up. We got this.
So I ended up just getting right back to work, trying not to watch my back too much with these bees, but getting this the way I wanted it and making my vision come to reality, it really wasn't that bad, just one day's work, and I did get a laser to make sure this was all where I wanted it, just in case you were wondering.
Alright, so now that we got it all on there, we can't just leave the screws like that, so I bought this. I have never used this JB Weld Quick Wood. It may be worth it, it may not. We'll find out. Looks just like any other JB Weld product. Let's pull that off. So what you want to do, pull a little bit of it apart. Roll it up in your hand. Get it nice and mixed up. Just really, as you guys can potentially see, it's two different colors. Just get it nice and mixed up. All right, pretty uniform. We're just gonna take a little bit, put it in there, kind of flatten it out the best I can, like that. And then up here, try to get all that off. Put some in there. It doesn't have to be perfectly flat because we could sand it. You just don't want it to be indented. So we pretty much have to do that all over, and then if there's any creases that have little gaps, we want to fill that in as well.
After sanding everything, I went ahead and got some caulking, and I did all this tedious work. It sucks, but it will make the outcome so much nicer and cleaner. It's 100% worth it in the end, even though it is boring to do. But hey, check this out.
Breakfast. Come on, bud. Breakfast. As you guys could tell, got some pumpkins. The local grocery stores have them way discounted, $1 a piece. So I've been giving them to the goats a couple a day. So I think they're happy with that. All right, now that everything is dried up, I'm just taking this sandpaper. It's for drywall, but sandpaper. I'm gonna fold it in half and just knock this down. Oh yeah, that's already way better. Oh yeah.
Now that the prep is done, let's go ahead and put some primer and sealer on this drywall wood, so whenever we do paint, it'll stick really well. Let's go.
Alright, I think that came out pretty good, but I could tell I missed one screw up there where I didn't put the putty stuff, but that's alright. I can go back and do that. That is just primer. And then I'm not going to be able to show you in video. It's just not going to come out well, but I kind of cheated the system a little bit here. Whenever I was spraying it, it was coming out a little thick because it started to dry on the nozzle, and I just let it go thick on there, and it put a bunch of like spray, like texture-ish on there, and it may level out over time as it dries. I'm not 100% sure, but I went back with the roller and did the wood, so the wood will be smooth, and then the drywall part will have a little bit of texture. And then I know some of you guys are wondering, the very bottom strip, I didn't cover the screw holes because I am gonna have to take it off when I do my flooring and then trim just a minute amount to make it fit. So I didn't silicone or cover the holes for the bottom trim. So as some of you guys know, you watch Coffee Crockers, I've been getting work done on my truck, and I got a new muffler, so it's a lot more quiet, so I can take Reagan around whenever Danielle is at work, because she actually starts work this weekend again. So I need to get more drywall, and I will continue here on out and over there out, but I did not want to waste time while I had the Forerunner and I couldn't get the big sheet, so I am very happy with this. It came out very, very well. Oh, it also saved me a lot of time doing drywall, so that's a major pro. So now let's take this paper off and I hope I didn't paint the wood. I did not expect this. The paper is falling apart. I thought it would hold up a little bit better. Oh, very happy, very clean. So I don't know how well it'll translate video, but that wood actually looks really good. I did not like the color of the wood until I saw it painted white, and I'm not really going for a white color on the whole house, but I am going to go for a lighter color. I was thinking this wall could be a little bit darker, but I really do like the way it looks. So we will have to see with paint colors and all that type of stuff, but as of right now, with white and the wood, I think it looks legit.